everyone. Today we are going to discuss the further topic of our chapter data devices. Our today's content is secondary memory, hard disk, floppy disk, CD-ROM, DVD, Blu-ray and flash drive. Secondary memory. Primary memory is volatile and has limited capacity, so it is important to have some form of memory on which data and program can be stored even when the computer turned off. We have read that concept in our previous lesson in which we came to know that in the volatile memory the data was erased as soon as the computer is going to be switched off because it doesn't contain the contents. So for this we have secondary memory here, and secondary memory or external memory is where program and data are stored for future referencing. It is also called auxiliary memory. It is different from primary memory as it is not directly accessible by the CPU and is non-volatile. Secondary or external storage devices have a much larger storage capacity. Example of secondary storage devices are floppy disk, hard disk, CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray disc and flash drive. So these are all the devices that can store the data permanently. Floppy disk. A floppy disk is made up of a magnetic disk enclosed within a square plastic case. In addition to storing data, it can also be used for transferring data from one computer to another. Floppy disks are available in two sizes. For using a floppy disk drive is needed. This storage device, though very popular at one time, is now hardly used and has been replaced by CDs and DVDs. Hard disk. A hard disk is a part of a unit called a hard disk drive and stores data. Hard disk drive comes in different record storage capacities, for example 320 GB, 500 GB, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. A hard disk is made up of a collection of disks, one below the other, known as platters. So basically, hard disk is used in your laptops, in your uh, desktop computer to save the data. So when you are going to save any sort of data, it can be stored in the hard disk. The platters are coated with magnetic material, and each platter consists of a number of invisible circles, all having the same center called tracks. The tracks are further divided into sectors. Data is recorded on these tracks in the form of tiny magnetic spots. The presence of a magnetic spot represents the bit 1 and its absence represents the 0. In our previous lessons, we have already discussed that computer can store data in the form of binary digit 1 and 0. So if a data is stored somewhere, so it will represent 1 and the absence of that spot will represent 0. This another type is CD-ROM. A CD-ROM compact disc read-only memory only consists of tracks and sectors. It can store up to 700 MB of data. CD-ROMs are available in two forms: CDR, compact disc rewrite recordable. Data once written on to it cannot be erased, it can only be read. CDRW, compact disc rewritable. Data once written onto it can be erased to write, be read, record new data many times. It is also called an erasable CD. To use a CD-ROM, a device called CD-ROM drive is needed on the computer. DVD. A DVD, digital video disc, is also called a digital versatile disc. It stores up to 4.7 GB of data. It looks similar to a CD. To use a DVD, a DVD-ROM drive is needed on the computer. Blu-ray disc. A Blu-ray disc looks similar to a CD or a DVD but can contain up to 25 GB of data. To use a Blu-ray disc, a Blu-ray reader is required. Some higher models of laptop use a Blu-ray reader. Flash drive. A flash drive comes in various storage capacities. For example, 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, and so on. It is used to read, write, delete, or transfer data. It is widely used nowadays because it is easy to use and small enough to be carried around in your pocket. To use a flash drive, a USB port is needed. The device is plugged into the USB port of a computer. Basically, flash drive is also known as pen drive or a USB. In common, we will call it USB. So our today's assignment is you have to solve descriptive question number 5 and question number 6 from page 23.